Let's see what this boss looks like. Ooh, we get like a crazy zoom in.
Gaze now upon your great achievement, the sum total of your failings, your body of work.
Oh, and at the top. Oh, yes.
So I might just lean back on a classic build that's worked before in this case. Let's see. Been doing a lot of experimental parties tonight. Got access to some more skills to play with.
No comfort awaits you here. Mankind became a mockery. His newly horrid outlines a twisted tribute to the shape of your flaws. The crossroads. Wait by the lantern's light, and welcome what help
Okay,
may
what are
come.
my quirks like? Precision Striker is really strong. Slowest Scrounger is just okay. Raconteur, Torn Rotator Cuff is a pain in the neck. Tangle Scrounger, soft is pretty bad, right? Yeah, soft sucks. Spotter, tuckered out, that's okay, actually. Lithe and Blooded. Hard Skin is still pretty good. This character's still awesome, so I can totally use him. I mean, those guys are still pretty good. Clutch Hitter, Party HP under 25% plus 25% damage. I haven't seen that one before, it's pretty good. Okay, so one of the last parties I was using that was really good was the Sergeant Man-at-Arms, the Yellow Hand Highwayman, and the two other characters backing that up were the Occultist and the Surgeon. So the Surgeon and the Yellow Hand are both pretty good on bleeds, and the Sergeant Occultist combo are very good at setting up stuns, managing debuffs on enemies, and of course the Highwayman, in some builds he can contribute with, pistol shot, get like another stun option in. But really I just had like those two kind of pairs that were bouncing off each other and getting a lot of work done. Let's see. I'm still interested in playing the Warlock as well, so I haven't tried that yet, and I think the Warlock is going to be the best one, dropping into the Burning Stars, which just looks really exciting. Kind of a hype skill, but I don't really want to run a big damage build like that with a Torn Rotator Cuff. That's just kind of lame. I don't like Anemic, but it's okay on a Vestal. Precision Striker is really good. I feel like I should run that, and I still have more skills to pick up on the Flagellant. Having access to more really makes him look like a pretty good frontliner. If we're on the very front, we can't use Lash's Gift. Let's see. We can stand at the second rank and basically still tank. I've been wanting to try out like a Rogue setup too, with Double Cross, but that's more of a front row tank. Front rank tank. Actually, I mean, really, the build loves to dance, because the Rogue is 10,000% click point blank shot to win. It's very clear how that works. I haven't played a Jester in forever. I'm missing a lot of Jester skills, and Jester's just a very powerful character. We can play around tuckered out, it's fine. Okay, let's see. So I want to try out, I don't want to use a Cultist this run, I don't like this setup. I haven't run a Sharpshooter in a while, and that's pretty good. I like the Night Sworn, it's pretty fun to play now that I have all the skills. I want to run this Flagellant. What do I want to do with this Flagellant? Because if I want to run this Flagellant, because I want to click Punish and do a lot of damage, get a lot of crits, what else do I need to do around that? Scourge affects Sepsis, Deathless, Suffer, and Lash's Gift. Deathless becomes a hugely good heal. Lash's Gift becomes... Oh, I see. Lash's Gift is kind of there to set up a unique Toxic State, isn't it? Because Toxic State gains new effects. I had a thought about the Flagellant party that doesn't get along with anybody on purpose. I'm not sure if I'm ready to figure that out yet. It's a bit of a puzzle. The Seraph is quite good. It throws out a lot of damage, it gets a lot of mechanics up and running. It likes a party that likes to sit still. Should I actually just run the same party in a different order? I don't really want to run a soft lever. You know, I haven't run the Hellion in a really long time. Should I just do a classic lead comp?
And shame.
With like lead out,
Hunted,
a Yellow Hand,
a fugitive seeking to outpace the past,
a Surgeon, and like Malediction ranged? So I'm pretty sure the Warlock path kinda can use Malediction. I didn't really want to use that character though. The Jester with Slice Off is another pretty good choice here for bleed stuff, and I do need to learn more Jester skills.
Murderous melody lingers long after the final chord has been
Jester, Soloist is the bleed Jester, until I have song skills that cause bleed in an important way. Or more skills moving to bleed. I'm assuming that the Jester gets song skills that target the enemy, that get this to be a good thing. I can't necessarily... I'm assuming that Inspiring Tune and Battle Ballad are song skills. So for song skills to cause 2 bleed, I don't know why you would do that. Huh. Well, I guess the reason why is because you get all these crazy buffs on your skills. Okay. Yellow Hand, those quirks are fine. These abilities are fine. Over here, we can just drop if it bleeds for bleed out, because we're in front rank. We can still run Wicked Hack. I like Adrenaline Rush. Bloodlust is good. Let's see, what are we overrunning on? Probably want Iron Swan. I mean, this is fine. We can adjust this as we're going in a lot of ways. There's a lot of different ways for this kind of setup. What's our back rank? What's our last person? Is it Vessel? I could just run a Seraph Vessel and not feel bad about that at all. Oh, actually, wait. I think I want to run this Ravager. No, the Ravager is better for Wicked Hack setups. The Berserker is better for Bleed setups. Yeah, because the Ravager is good for Wicked Hack. The Berserker is better for if it bleeds. What's the crit rate on bleed out? Only 5%? The Ravager's also really good at using, like, Iron Swan. What if I change this up and run her... Let's see.
Nothing remains.
So
Take a burning
here,
will to survive.
we do Smoke Screen, we keep running high, we take Cauterize. We could actually take Firestarter with this as well. But we play it Survivor Path because you're a dedicated healer. And over here, we want to use Iron Swan, Wicked Hack. Let's see. I think the rest of this is probably fine. We use the Jester to apply marks. Soloist is still fine. This can be the Soloist or the Virtuoso without much of a difference. We can still use Bloodlust here. Adrenaline Rush is still good. But we want to convert you, I think, to a Sharp Shot. So you're never going to step to the front of the line. And with this, you can make use of Pistol Shot to pick up stuns. Sharp Shot uses Grape Shot Blast to set up Strengthen. You don't want to use Duelist Advance or other things. You have a penalty on melee skill damage? Yeah, okay. So they're dancing around back and forth. She's hanging out back here, throwing occasional Fireflies, post using Cauterized Firestarter. Firestarter on Grape Shot Blast is pretty good. And then we start doing Pistol Shots on marked targets. And we can add Double Tap. And yeah, we keep tracking Shot for versatility. Okay, so that's Ravager, Sharp Shot, Soloist is fine, and Survivor's quite good. And I want to try and get skills in the Jester. Let's go. Onward. I have a pretty good amount of time tonight, so it's fine if we bomb a lot of runs.
Fall.
We had no candles coming
Never
in,
to
so
go
we're at a
again.
completely baseline setup.
The winds whip more harshly on the far side of the brook.
I think I need to get the pistol shot upgrade pretty soon.
The bulwark
And there are
of
some
the
very good
Nile
upgrades on the
giving
Jester.
way.
I'd like to get the smoke bomb upgrade as well. This is a very combo-oriented party. Let's see. Let's start with Take Aim. Take Aim's still really good. Firestarter. We Iron Swan here. Okay, so here, Razor's Wit sets up combo right now. Fade to Black will start setting up combo, and we can also use Battle Ballad pretty freely when we need to correct positions. So this party is very rank flexible compared to some of the other parties I've been doing, because the Jester's here, and he can fix all the problems. The upgrade on Iron Swan will also apply combo to the person in the back. So we've really just got a zillion ways to gain and use combo. Firefly to take you out should be a guaranteed kill, unless you resist that burn. I guess that works. Go for the critical there, trade the critical out for a strengthen. It's pretty good. Iron Swan to out you, because I don't like taking a lot of horror. Okay. Are you already dead? No, you are not. Now you are.
A trivial worriment.
Took an immense amount of damage for the first area. So the unfortunate thing about this party comp is I don't have a lot of control over my healing. So if the Jester takes a lot of hits, that's just kind of what's going on in the Jester's life.
Scavenge what you can.
Because
And
with
we
this
off
backliner,
once more.
I'm really just not good at healing.
Are you shaken? There is so much worse in store.
There is so much worse in store. Oh, don't remind me. I know it's bad. It's gonna be bad, I get it. You don't have to just throw it out there.
Lower your guard. Soften your gaze.
Oh, we got
safe here.
we got a little bit of stress clear for getting here. Okay. So I have a lot of really good upgrade options. I want to upgrade pistol shot probably most of all, because going from daze to stun is huge. So slice off is big because it picks up vulnerable. Fade to black is big because it picks up combo. Razor's Wit adds a dodge, which is okay, but not as important. Over here, Firestarter's a luxury upgrade. Smoke Screen's really good. We don't really need Cauterize. Over here, I think upgrading Iron Swan early is just going to be so huge. We can just deny the existence of the enemy's back row.
The provinces and cantrips of our
Avoid the
land.
Hoarder. Yeah, we can
Crumbling
totally do that for a
and
mastery
undone.
point. Thank you very much. Because we're bad at healing, we're definitely taking the Pygmy Pliskin. It's going to give us more road healing. Scales up if we equip some medical gear. We do not have medical gear options here. That's okay. Pick up some playing cards. They're pretty good. And we'll pick up food so that we have 4 food. Trap making's okay. I don't usually care about buying tea service in the first area. Raven's Reach is really good on our
Such
sharp shot, so
power
we're definitely picking
in
that up.
such a little thing.
Let's see. The minor sharpness charm is okay, but we will find better while we're out there. We shouldn't need something like right off the bat. It's fine.
Your coach must be maintained if it is to carry you where you must
that.
go.
Let's feed people. Play cards. We got no negative relationship pulses out of all of those
Precious
cards.
relics
That's
remind
pretty
us of a
good.
time before the end.
Let's see, going to the Shroud. We're not going to do dumb stuff and fight the boss again. Let's buy some whiskey and hit the road. Just throwing around some good old relationship whatevers. Let's hit it. All right, one more coffee refill.
Propriety floats listless on the tide, brined in noxious degradation.
Okay, I've got my last bit of coffee for the night. Let's see, we have to avoid the Hoarder, so we're taking the path on the right. Well, we don't have to avoid the Hoarder, but it's really good if we do. We can hit up the Oasis second. Let's see. I'd like to hit some
I trust you
early
have
caches,
calculated
actually.
your odds carefully. This will not be easy.
I think I might be undervaluing caches in my planning, because I'm always thinking about how do I get the most mastery. But caches do tend to have indelible trinkets. So we take the first 2 fights in the Sacred Pier, then we turn around. As
The
usual.
Church of the Change. An inglorious
This is pretty good for
heap
loot.
of rotting timbers.
So I didn't take the upgraded take aim. That's okay. We still click it. Take aim is definitely one of my priority upgrades, but I've got a lot of good stuff to upgrade. Skills to hit for the full crew. We got jostled out of position, we just move right back. No problem. The Iron Swan upgrade also has just higher than normal damage. Okay, 3 burn will kill it before it transforms, so it didn't trigger the transform already. Now it triggered the transform, but it's just gonna die. Let's see. I'll smoke screen this guy. His attacks are annoying. So if we wind up out front here, that is a bit awkward. So I think we're gonna put point blank shot on the bar so that I can pull him off the front line if he winds up there accidentally. Wicked hack.
Bafflement.
Aw,
and
he stunned him. Yeah, it's the other part of Lost in Time. If he gets stressed, he can get stunned. He can get dazed, I think it is. I don't quite remember. Things can happen to him. Whatever. The entire enemy party is affected by combo at all times. We can wicked hack to our heart's content. And so we shall. We will do a Fade to Black here, which will put our Berserker back in an appropriate position. We've got a Cauterize available, so we'll do it. Small optimization. The heal from that is enormous in the Survivor path. Woof! Just gonna stall for time, give him a dodge. It's all good. Well, this is a little annoying. We can't meaningfully Raucous Revelry, can't meaningfully Bloodlust. So I guess we'll just move up. And whatever. Next fight. These guys, these big dudes can actually be problematic. It's far from the most problematic thing here. I don't really want to open with Grave Shot Blast. We'll just take aim like we did before. Let's see. I'm gonna smoke screen the big guy. It's gonna be a while before I get to him. Let's see. Razor's with you. I don't think I can hit 3rd rank with Wicked Hack. So we can't out him like that. Oh, dodge plus. What a loser. Makes Wicked Hack kind of bad on you. Just throw it here.
Hold fast, for who knows what lurks in the beyond.
This gives me an option to Cauterize. Thank you very much. Actually pick him up off the ground. This is the only pistol shot that stuns. We got a dodge here, but let's try it. Didn't work. Alright, bummer. But yeah, he gains stress on miss from the Raven Totem. So his better action was probably just a tracking shot. At this rate, I'm probably just going to focus on the guy in the front. Can you just resist that blind? What a loser. Okay, what are you? Oh, the frontline fisherman?
The Leviathan's breath.
This one at the back
thickens the
is
air.
big on damage output. We got blinded, so we're gonna take aim. I'd still like to halt his output, but we're blinded on runaway, so we can't guarantee anything there. Yeah, this is like executing the fight with the worst possible focus choices. Because even now, this guy at the front has lower health and better damage output than the guy in the middle, who we have been focusing our damage on thus far. this fishmonger in the back is reasonably the proper focus target. He's just had constant dodge stacks, and I have not had a good option on it.
A brilliant conclusion.
Okay, there's actually a good option. We will click at least one good button this combat. Didn't high roll it. Okay, the bleed will kill him, but it'll take a while. Cauterize is pretty strong in this area. I need to not rest on my laurels, because I'm still gonna have pretty bad healing once I'm out of here. Okay, Razor's Whip doesn't do much for me. Yeah, we just don't have good options right now. And the bleed fell off of him, so we can't cauterize heal him. Can't smoke screen backline. He stopped having dodge for a moment, so Iron Swan mostly kills him. This guy bleeds to death. Guy gets out one more knife. I think I can solve him from here. So we're just gonna tracking shot into basically whatever else. Let's just tracking shot for a shot. Done deal.
A righteous action.
And we are out of here. There's no way we survive a Leviathan fight with the
Recognize your disadvantage.
crazy number of unupgraded skills we have. It's very few comps that go for a boss in Region 1. Maybe if you're bringing along strong trinkets or something. So I wanted to make an adjustment here to bring in Point Blank. I think I'm gonna drop Double Tap for now. I think Double Tap is a bit luxurious. I would like to go to the Oasis for a lot of reasons. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Is your coach
So I want to go to the
prepared for
cache. The
upcoming
problem is we're gonna
destruction?
pick up like 2 Oblivion Tears. Possibly like a full stack of them. Without having a way of removing them in the short term. So I might have to dodge the cache because I really don't want to take on that much loathing. I really need that upgraded take aim. It's such a good button when it's upgraded. Stable incubation. Okay, almost the entire enemy team got to act before us. Bit of a bummer. I think I'd like to out this before he becomes a bigger problem. Because I think that's the most dangerous thing on the enemy team. Okay, so the combo didn't actually ripple out because he died. Interesting. Yeah, we'll cauterize while I can.
This wound, at least, has been tended to.
I don't have free access to those heals, so it's a really big deal. Guaranteed 17, take you down. Please put a bleed on him. Thank you. It's 4 to 8 on either target. Yeah, whatever's fine. Fade to black. This is a good grape shot. Cool, he didn't death store my jester. Now I cauterize. For kind of a small amount of health, because the jester's maximum is friggin' 30. He's a weenie.
sweet reprieve. Until the next test is put before you.
Onwards. Yeah, I think I'll have to take the center path or the left path. Let's see. If I take the center path, I guess I'm hoping for either food or something else. Let's see. Flame stress, few supplies. Well, we'll take the one that also has some supplies.
In crisis, no games.
There we go. Mineral-rich
insignificant.
spring water. That is what I wanted. Let's throw that on anybody. Stress relief, health stuff. Okay, yeah. So with 1 loathing now, if I head over there, I basically take 3 loathing in quick succession with a possible 4th here. And I get screwed. I get royally screwed. I don't know if I've interacted with a broken clock before. So I'm gonna go to the assistance encounter. Nobody in the party liked that. Whatever.
Lost and desperate.
I don't think there's a lot of value in the watchtower most of the time. I think for the watchtower to provide you with value needs to be a lot of coincidences lining up. So we can trade relics for in items. Yeah, this is going to be a good deal most of the time. Playing cards are good. Playing cards alone are close to worth it. The actual cost of playing cards at the inn is a little bit less than that. But we just have to call it on taking a double
to
roll.
survive the rising tides, the fisherfolk of the coastal provinces resorted to a
I might be able to
debased
fix
worship of the sea.
problem in the party. I'm trying to think of what's meaningful here. So I could remove Scatterbrain. It's not too unusual to be at that high stress. I mean, we're at that stress now. Take that crit penalty. I don't think Thin-Blooded is a big deal. I don't care about Tuckered Out. I want to keep Lost in Time. I think it's usually good. Yeah, we're gonna treat the Scatterbrained.
We need not be defined by our shortcomings.
Oh, it's even more to lock stuff. Jeez. What a luxury. I think getting some bandages or clotting powders is a good idea. Let me pick up clotting powders. Clotting powders are low-key super bandages. It's the Chirurgeon's mixing kit. Huh. Was that other item... I had the medical bag, but I think the medical bag indicated Surgeon's mixing kit, not Chirurgeon's mixing kit. If so, that's gotta be a, just a mistake. It happens all the time. I'll put clotting powders on multiple people. Clotting powders are amazing. Chance to produce restorative items before each location. We get benefits from medical gear too. This is really strong.
Tonics,
I'll take it.
tinctures, and remedies.
I'm often
The
hesitant to
science of
drop
hope.
that many baubles, but we'll go for it.
Brace
Academic
up.
study.
There's
I'm not
danger on
familiar
this path.
too much with the various academic study curios. But if there's a broken clock and we have the Lost in Time trait, that feels like it's meaningful. Maybe there's an interaction there to find. Let's see. I think I can afford to take aim here, or we can Grape Shot Blast. Kind of 601. I'll take aim. Even unupgraded take aim, I think, is usually worth the turn. I want to start the damage on this thing. Otherwise, I don't think I'm liable to out it when I should. Before it transforms. So now it goes to incubation. But I should have at least 2 actions before it finishes that. Focus if I want. Let's see, with 3 burn on it. Yes. Yeah, okay, so I can hit it with the stray damage from a Firefly. This is fairly likely to deal with it. Got it up to 6 burns, so it dies. Cool. Rape shot these guys. I got blinded. Bummer. Wow, I missed both. Cool. You friggin' Leviathan. Honestly, though, the enemies in this area, this place would be way too easy if you didn't periodically have to deal with problems like this.
Stumbling and
Compared to the Tangle, where I find enemies to be super dangerous, there are just a couple threats around here. Honestly, I'll go anywhere but the Tangle. And it's all good.
This wound, at least, has been tended
But I go to the Tangle, and I'm losing characters in random hallway fights.
The Leviathan's breath thickens the air.
We got blinded again. Getting a little picked on.
Hold fast.
Ow.
Who knows what lurks in the beyond?
This guy's a little determined. Get out of
A
here.
simple variable, easily resolved.
Alright, I think for Boudica, I'm gonna have to give her a move forward skill before we get to the end of the area. We can give up on Raucous Revelry for now. I mean, running Bloodlust and Adrenaline Rush is also redundant. So we can move on from that. We're not really using Bloodlust at all. But I need her to have, like, toe-to-toe. Or she can get kind of clowned on. I'll keep Bloodlust on. We have picked up a decent bit of stress. I keep missing shots on Dismas, so he's getting stressed by the Raven. And that's kind of me setting myself up for failure. Okay, so this is not a quirk unique interaction. And this is Trinket and a mixed quirk, or Stress and a mixed quirk. I'd rather take the Trinket. These unique trinkets are usually pretty valuable. The Befuddling Sundial. 90% chance to heal, 10% chance for some stress. This should be most effective on our Hellion because it scales with health total. Well, most of the healing in the game is based on your health total, so having high health characters also means you have characters that heal more efficiently. It's like a double whammy of living.
The loathing howls.
Creature Den. Good, 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 good. Really concerned about, like, not having good fights in this chapter. Not this chapter, the region. I'm coming out of this really low mastery as is. We need to fight. Gotta fight this. Okay, I'm not gonna spend my time on take aim if I'm getting blinded all the time, and then just, like, losing out on it. I want to burn at least one of these for the stress relief. continuing with the fight. I'm expecting to get a good amount of stress relief on the way out of the act by using clotting powders very aggressively. Let me go ahead and use Fire Starter. I think I can roll through some Grape Shot blasts and have a good time of it. I feel like Fire Starter works best with Grape Shot blast and like the throwing knives. See, we are blind right now. Seems to happen a lot. I don't have Hearthlight to hit check the back line. Bit of a bummer. Be good to have right now. Good. Burn sets him up to die. He's set to die from the bleed. Start getting through the tokens on these guys. Good dodge.
Early results are encouraging.
Okay, so now here we need to be more focused on dropping these bleeds instead of these blinds instead of trying to swing through them. Both resisted. Bummer. Another dodge. Okay. Dodge for me.
A petty hindrance.
And we're blind again.
Mistimed as directed.
We want to kill this early in the initiative so that we can be advantaged going into the second part of the fight.
Hold fast, for who knows what lurks in the beyond.
Now we get a full turn to run against these guys. Oh, you know what? Since the tracking, since that also hit checks, I need to think about skills that hit check the entire enemy team to use the Fire Starter. The 4 targets Fire Starter is pretty strong. Slights off doesn't burn the combo. Good. It's fine, because we're missing anyway. Whee! That gets through his dodges. That was a pretty miserable fight. Almost no healing on that character for that. We are blind again. Just can't get enough of being blinded. Would be lethal without the fire resist. That's what we get for not playing the Arsonist. The option was right there on the table. Okay. death's door from like random friggin' spiders. And you're blighted. I don't have a heal for him either. And he's stunned. No, I have a heal for him. Mineral-rich spring water is the only heal I have for him.
Lenity. Grace. Small acts that drive back the darkness. Steady yourself.
So it's novel to have a lot of combo and things, but there's a lot of circumstances this team is not good at managing. I'm not very good at I'm apparently nowhere near good enough at clearing my own debuffs.
Elementary.
Or dots.
Easily dispatched.
Firefly the front line. Smoke screen's the best we've got. Yeah, it's a pretty sorry performance. I think I should probably be passing the sundial around between the characters to get them all healed up differently in different combats.
The loathing festers.
So we'll just put it over here for now. And now he can get healed in the next fight. I think a lot of my current impression of party comps is kind of, if I didn't bring the occultist, it's probably a bad party comp. Throw down some clotting powders. I think I immediately want to start trying to out some of these backliners. Smoke screen one of these guys. My mastery is way too low right now coming out of the first act. And resist the bleed. And cool. Swan down to 8. Clotting powders on her.
Cooperation is the key.
Razor's Wit sets up a mark on you. Let's get combo at the ready. Blood Bond, resist, and stress relief. Clotting powder is way better than bandages.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
Upgraded smoke screen is going to be a must because my mitigation has not been good enough right now. I'd also really like to upgrade some skills in the Jester. I think he's underperforming. I'd love to start serving up Wicked Hacks, but I really want this thing dead. It's already dead. Cool. Ignore it.
Well done.
We've got like almost 3 stress resist across 2 characters from clotting powders. It's still active for a good long while. Pistol shot here. critical on that because critical is crazy. Grape shot sets up the strengthen. He's dead.
Appliance of harm.
Smoke screen U to start up combo. I don't have double tap to execute him. Bummer. But that'll Deathstore him, and I can just out him here. Don't have a blind. Yeah, just put some more debuffs on him. He resisted the blind. Oh, we finally took a bleed stack because our resistance wore off. It's 60% resistance for 3 turns. It's really good.
A brilliant conclusion. This road cannot be walked alone.
Autorize while we can. And we're out of the region.
Greater threats await those who dare.
Okay, so I think we came out of this region with only 2 mastery. That's rough.
The loathing whispers.
With Burn Salve, we could try to make our way to the Sprawl. I think our relationships are pretty good. Because we've been stress managing fairly well. I don't think I've had a meltdown this whole time. Discounted trinkets, but we don't have a lot of baubles to work with. I think I actually have to use all my baubles on carriage repair, too.
Rest tonight. Under the mountains, unblinking.
Oh, we got the
gaze.
extra mastery from the goal. So... Sprained Wrist and Fragile are both pretty bad. I always hate picking up something like Fragile on my frontliner. Okay, so the region goal and the turn-in gets us up to 3 mastery.
Consider your position and plan accordingly.
Gain on melee skill crit. Bloodied Branch is really strong. Fog of War is also very easy to do. The Bloodied Branch is slightly better on one of the other Hellion builds. It's still really good here. It's just really good all the time, actually. I don't really want to have... well, that being said, Naked and Afraid, I don't want to do. So, we're not going to hit it. Makes the Sprawl almost certainly the choice. I'm not in the mood to hit another Sluis. It's just more time.
Inferno of mutilation and madness.
Yeah, we're spending all our baubles on this.
Conventional fare, but fairly priced.
But I'm equipping the mixing kit. Okay, Wild Tea. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the Wild Tea, roll the dice, try and remove the Fragile. If I had a little more money, I could get the Meditative Totem and I'd have 2 chances at it, but we're a little poor. We didn't have a lot of fights in that last chapter. Remove the wrong one. Okay. Let's see, turn end haste. take that here. It's alright. We could combine this to get a lot of blight resist on a character. So I'm gonna do that. Just hang on to a lot of blight resist, just because. This would make him stronger in the theater if that's where I was going. It's not where I'm going, but whatever.
The
I can
means of
dream.
mastery.
Number one priority for me is upgrading smokescreen, I think. Yeah. The next thing that's really on my mind is probably take aim. Or I could get the upgrades on two things over here. I really want the Fade to Black upgrade. I think I'll take Fade to Black and take aim. Onto the Sprawl. I think this is technically subpar. With our current wealth, we're very poor. We didn't get enough fights, so I think the Sluice is technically correct.
Narrowed eyes. Muttered
Suspicious
threat.
on skills
All
that I'm
trust
mostly
is
not using.
lost.
Unfortunately, when you do get a negative relationship skill, you are forced to put those skills on your selection bar. So what did it bump off for this? It's removed our access to tracking
Behold,
shot.
The great
That's okay for this
cities of
area.
Man, ruined and aflame.
This party has a good shot of killing the local boss, so we want to plan on going to... we need to avoid the watchtower, and we want to go to the Lair. So we're going to take this path along the right. We do get to visit a hospital. But I don't think we're going to have the money to do anything cool at the hospital. Oh, looks like we have two
Loathing
hospitals.
howls.
Well, that's pretty inefficient.
She heals the injuries of others while ignoring her own.
Yeah, with 10 gold, we just move on. And on to the next hospital. Okay, it's possible that the barricade along the way will give us enough gold to fix one problem. I'd really like to remove Fragile from our Hellion. Oh, we got ambushed. I think our party's still pretty good at dealing with this. One ordained enemy. We can start using take aim at the start of combats again. This only moves us one slot forward. And of course, every time I take aim, I get a blind immediately afterwards. It's a law. I've got to be like singing a siren song to the enemies. So I do want to progress the Jester story, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen a single option to do so. Missed both times. We got 2 stress for 2 misses. I was actually wondering how that was going to work, so I wanted to check that. These enemies are absurdly resistant to burn. So most of what this character can do is just going to be irrelevant for this entire area, almost. But I still think the boss is beatable with this comp. I need to be a little wary about it. We actually need to start damaging this guy. It's going to be a problem. This would have been a really great case to have gotten the bounty hunter at the inn, but he wasn't there. That's good. That's why we blinded you. I really need to out this guy. So he's got 3 from bleed coming in. I think I can just give him another slice and it'll be fine. Okay, we're finally not blinded for once, so I think I just kill this dude? Yeah, pretty much. Die. You got caught for real. Okay, picked up a daze, bit of a bummer. I don't think I have a good action here, so we just smoke screen. Smoke screen's gonna be her strongest action most of the time in this area. Okay, so if he acts again, he's gonna do a lot of damage. I just need to get 2 more damage on him and it's fine. Done. Done and then some. Yeah, we can just spend most of our time on like smoke screen and wicked hack and it's pretty fine. I don't have tracking shot because of the forced skill memorization. So I'm just gonna skip for a bit. This isn't really a meaningful cauterize. I just want to drop this dodge stack. Ow. That's quite a lot of damage. Okay, black, blind, and combo. Shoot you. Or a lot.
One less obstacle in our path.
Okay. That give us enough to maybe use the hospital? Yes, it did. Cool. We have picked up a lot of loathing. It's a good thing we're going to the Lair.
Joints ache.
Did I remember to
and
feed the
muscles
goddamn
burn.
party?
The body requires
I didn't have the money to feed
attention.
the party. Oh boy. I am too poor. But we're removing this freaking fragile effect. I'm gonna rewatch the video of what the heck I did in Chapter 1 for this run. I did not get enough of anything in my first region. It's gonna be a lesson of what not to do. Got ordained enemies up front, and I think I can just, like, take them down pretty fast. I'm gonna try and do that. Can I smokescreen you?
A
He
miscalculation,
is not in the mood.
perhaps.
We got the first one down before it could act. That's fine. Okay, I can use this to drop a shield stack. Even if it's not doing much else. I'm gonna take aim here. Oh, that's a real bummer. It's gonna get this guy up to the front faster. Ugh. I might have to deal with his shenanigans. Let's see what we can do. I think we can just take him out. Yeah, we'll get him with a critical grape shot. All good, all good. Oh, kill with a critical doesn't leave a corpse? Interesting. That is cool. Smokescreen you because you haven't acted yet for the round. And then I think that's a more useful blind. This other guy here, I think I might just kill. Pretty sure he dies on Wicked Hack. Got the miss on the Firefly, good stuff. You're dead. This guy's not hugely fast, so
Well done.
just give him a little stunnerooski. And he's gone. Better to kill him before the dots tick instead of using the cauterize. I think.
Amidst the spoils, an artifact
Doing the
of
rough math.
unparalleled power.
Snappy Swig. If speed is over 8, 50% chance to get critical on turn start. So this is probably strongest on our Highwayman because he's a cheater. And he's just really, really flippin' fast. Three criticals are pretty good. Okay, here's where we stake the run.
The library burns, and with it, the remains of philosophy, reason.
Just gonna go in for
And
some grape
insight.
shots in these frontliners. Smoke screen on you. Let's see. Blind on him. Everybody does. It's a very popular thing to do. I need to out this Widow. I don't want to have too much stress before going into the boss. I'm gonna have to spare a round, I think, on aim. Really hoping to get the higher bound of damage, but didn't happen. Let's see. Yeah, there's a reason I haven't been clicking Firestarter. This is actually just a regular Gaunt, so we can burn you. Resisted. Reasonable chance of a kill, right? Cool. Getting there. Okay. That's going to be a little bit to get us there, so he doesn't have another turn after this, so we just let her
Incremental,
be.
but deadly all the same.
Can I just out you? Not quite. I can kill this guy. It's just so lovely to read that guaranteed damage readout. This is exactly how much damage your pistol shot's going to do. I might have time for a cauterize on the way out here. Yeah. This character doesn't kill no way, no how. Take another burn, a little more stress over here, but that's fine. I can actually pop the burn salve. It's not effective. Moving on. Yeah, it's hard to feel good about healing items when your health is 20 fucking 3. Die.
A righteous action.
Yeah, getting 16 relics and 16 baubles is pretty good. I need to put a lot more value in my navigation on going to layers just for the first 2 guys in the lair. I think there's a lot of cases where I look at the layout for an area and I don't value that option the way I should. Especially for Reach 1. See, I forgot that guy had a blind, and I took a risk there by clicking take aim when I wasn't blind. They could have made me pay for that. They could have stuffed my take aim. Thankfully, didn't happen for once. Smoke screen the ordained targets. Here, we're gonna Iron Swan. very good startup. Okay, let's see. Here... There's a lot of options here. Get some big damage started up there. Okay. Yeah, get him on the table.
On to the next.
This guy's got 6 health, 60 burn resist. I'm just gonna idle. The thing I'm worried about most with the Librarian fight is that the Librarian is keen on throwing out blinds. And that could be a problem. Guarded? I didn't know that guy did protection. We'll burn the guard and the dodge stacks there. But probably want to just Iron Swan this character out, if possible. Actually, because of the guard, I can probably out him with Grape Shot. Thank you. Good stuff. And that gets me through 1 dodge stack over there, too.
Steady yourself.
Ow. Blinded both of them. Jeez. That Blade Tornado, when he's ignited, does bleed and burn. I didn't know it also did blind.
A miscalculation, perhaps.
Yeah, the Hellion is not really one to manipulate tokens. It's kind of one of the big flaws going on here. What are the burn stacks like? It's gonna be worse in the next fight. Try it. Cool, got the blind. Blinded, so we're gonna take aim. I really don't want to miss and add to my stress. He was blinded, I was dodging, he hit me anyway. That's fine.
This road cannot be walked alone.
Go into the next fight with full HP. Let's see. I'm just gonna eat the riposte. Okay, Grape Shot time. Alright, let's see if we can get through this.
Madly upon his ladder, reveling in the fiery destruction of human accomplishment.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to take aim too preemptively. So we're just going for pistol shots to start with. They're still good damage. Let's see. We can't slice off with his current position. Actually can't hit him with this character at all. We have time to Inspiring too. I don't really want to set up Dismas to fail. This guy's burn immune. These are not meaningful smokescreen targets. Okay. Just hang out. Good burn resist. There's a blind on the one target who it really doesn't matter if he gets blinded. Hit through the dodge. It's kind of a time-wasting action. I'll take a nice big critical, thank you. Okay, this puts him up in the more manageable position.
And now, the greatest
That's pretty bad.
test of all.
Picks him up off the death's door. You can burn your dodge token on a turn that's pretty worthless to me. This is the nasty thing. Wait, it did nothing. Nobody moved. That's the first time I've ever seen a categorize do nothing. Alright, we go for pistol shots here. Yeah, that's fine. There's not much I can do about his dodge there. Okay, now we can start smoke screening you. Unfortunately, I don't think we have any attacks that hit that spot, so we just have to Bloodlust. And if we can land a bleed stack onto him, it's pretty good. We hold on to the other burn cell for as long as we can.
Mistimed.
Not landing the slice off today. Alright. Okay. Really need this guy to die pretty soon. We've got a lot of stress. Just a whole bunch. Well, that was stress on the right target. Back to death's door for the Jester.
But deadly all the same.
Nothing I can do about it here either. I'm going to Firefly to remove the dodge stack. Dodge stacks are a huge pain. Burn salve yourself again.
An opportunity.
These blinds. These
Squandered.
blinds. Okay, we're possibly gonna get like 2 meltdowns. It's gonna be bad.
Bravo.
There's a smoke screen. Okay. Please, please land a bleed on him. Okay, now I can get the bleed damage bonus from Bloodthirst. Wicked Hack. Okay, that wasn't that much damage. Back to Death's Door for you. Odds are not in his favor to get through this battle. Okay, we got him down to his last. He doesn't finish off the book, but we have to deal with meltdowns now. Yep. Ooh. I could cauterize, but I don't think I can afford to do that right now. Get through one armor break. All right, do you bleed out? You bled out.
The final chord
That was literally the
is
most
struck.
important, like, check of the fight. That's a pretty good Resolute, and he gained the Defiant trait, which is pretty cool. He's gonna act first at the start of the initiative, and it might allow him to finish this. Okay, yeah, looks like we're out of it. Because we've got another action over here. I actually have the time to cauterize, and then finish off with a Wicked Hack before he takes out the last stack of books. Okay.
For every
Yeah,
miscalculation.
really tough with our level of blind
consequence.
management to get through that. But we got the complete catalog, which should be pretty strong for this party. The Charred Litany, which is quite strong. The Royal Summons would have been great if we still had a Jester. The Laden Lantern's also pretty good. We picked up a Roast Pig. There's a lot to like about that, except for the fact that somebody died. happens. We could not heal him at the right time. Oh, look, a healing salve. Okay, so in terms of things, we certainly put the Charred Litany over here, as well as the Laden Lantern. Very good items for this character. Okay. So there are a few different good options for other characters to pick up if we can get through here. Looks like we've got a resistance encounter that we may not be able to run away from. We'll have to see what happens. I don't think I need to make any skill changes.
Emboldened anarchists.
Okay.
Desperate to exercise
We
their
don't have the
nihilism.
option to leave, but we can get a buff. We've been ambushed, because of course. I would rather not stand up front. If one of you guys could pull my Hellion back towards the front, that is
Steady
great.
yourself.
Okay, we don't need the healing salve just yet. I guess I'll try and make use of toe-to-toe. The Hellion doesn't get their buff unless they're in the front. So a back one with this, it gets weird because of immobilized. They can't be moved. We're gonna try this. Didn't work. All right. Taunt buys us a little time. That's stunned. I did not know that's. I did not know that's stunned or dazed. Does that have a stun or daze? What happened?
Let us take a closer look at the thing.
Oh, that was Desperate
more
Grab.
closer
Okay, yeah,
as it
Desperate Grab
is.
does it. I had the skills mixed up. If I force her back there, it's gonna put him up front. Everybody's stunned. Cool. This is fine. Ah. I'm really suffering in the action economy here. There's a lot of problems on him. Bit of healing. Go ahead and burn some clotting powders on him. Please hit.
An opportunity
Really needed that.
squandered.
I can't use Cauterize from Runaway in the front row. This is pretty problematic. And I still can't move forward further. I'll throw a healing salve
This
here at
road
least.
cannot be walked alone.
I could Adrenaline Rush? I need this guy dead. No, come on. I lose every coin flip. We got stunned again. Okay, take that rape shot trade, even if I get hit with the post. How are
Agony
these guys?
by
How do they
accumulation.
blight me? Why am I blighted? Like, since when do
Observe the
any of
subject
these
carefully,
guys
and you will
have a
discover its
blight
weaknesses.
effect? I think I didn't read something about this friggin' corpse in the front line, but I don't know what.
Hold fast. For who knows what lurks in the beyond.
Okay, resolute. I don't think that's enough. We have got laid on so many dots. He stood back up. That's charming. I can't meaningfully point blank, so let's hope a dodge stack saves our ass. Oh, that's nice.
The path of exculpation.
Should we go to healing
need
salve
not be
and an
lonely.
adrenaline rush? Removes the bleed. I still... Oh no, I can cauterize here. Okay. Yeah, we cauterize. Okay, we theoretically have health for a moment. This horror might make me burn out again. I seriously need the Hellion at the front of the line. Check for smokescreen. Couldn't get it. How much burn are we dealing with right now? It's quite a lot. We're under adrenaline rush, so our attack heals us another 10, and we can anchor her in the front row now. So anchoring her in the middle row, that action I did earlier, big mistake. It's caused a lot of problems here. I'm gonna try and out the one guy who's not dodging.
Measure out your violence and apply it judiciously.
I don't have a cauterize. This fire starter's bad, so I have a forced button. Kinda getting wrecked. Adrenaline Rush is a hell of a skill. This cutesy heal for 2 he's doing is pretty good. Just stand back up and kill. Let's go. How are you feeling now? Everybody's just in a good mood. Ugh, so much horror. Let's see. Yeah, do whatever you want. That's fine. I don't believe we're through this fight, given, like, what has been happening here. This is an insane fight to proceed through.
A breakthrough.
I knew I was going to take a lot of damage. I did it anyway. I disrespected this guy. I really hate this enemy type. Got 11 burn going on over here. How do you like burning? Just a little bit. Jeez. This guy just gains an insane amount of tokens all the time. Won the coin flip. And now you burn to death.
A steady
Wow.
subtraction. An
I don't believe we got
invariable
through that
result.
like that. That was 2 resolutes. I think we had 2 resolutes and a meltdown in that fight. Because we were just getting horror stacks all over the place. Everybody's being stunned. Sure. Got a combat item to equip. Let's equip it. So Defiant is round start heal 5%. That is nuts. And Calm is a 20% resolute chance. And he's got 90 death blow resist. So all sorts of stuff keeps happening and he just shakes it off, gets back up, and kills everything. Alright. Sometimes it's what your party's in the mood to do. I don't know what the baseline resolute chance is, so I don't know how much a 20% swing actually does. I'm not sure of anywhere in the game where that's printed.
Feed themselves to the fire.
Oh, wait.
Their flesh melting
I
like
want to equip those
candle
medicinal
wax.
herbs right away. Oh my god. Anything to cure more burns.
Your
Getting
path
burns
lies
stacked up to
through
10
them,
in some of these
and
fights.
so they must fall.
Okay, I can leave the fight by giving up 16 relics. Let's see, 15, or I can give up 15 flame and take 2 stress. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. And that is a precious mastery as
Consider all
well.
variables, but do it quickly.
I've completed all 3 of these stories. I need the assistance encounter. I can take the loathing too. I need to avoid the chirurgeon's table, but I'll take this to the assistance encounter, then this unknown thing on the left. Let's see.
An academic's study.
No, if I had managed to
Full of
eat
the
food
forbidden
before getting into this,
and the forgotten.
probably be okay right now. I'd rather take a trinket.
Amidst the spoils,
Blood
an artifact
smeared
of
calculations.
unparalleled power.
Turn start, 1 damage, convert dodge to critical, convert turn end, convert critical to dodge, and convert strength into block. Okay. Interesting. So, except for the fact that it keeps pinging you for 1 damage, that's quite good. Given the equipment I already have, I'm not so sure I
All
want to
that
try
matters
it.
is the flickering torch you bear.
Yeah, and I'm gonna move on. The best application I can think of for that is we put it on Boudica, and the hardened skin benefits she gets at the start of the fight turn into strengthen when she's in her opening turn. That could be pretty good. If I were using like a Man-at-Arms or a Leper, I might feel better about that, because those guys are a bit better at making some of those
You
tokens
must be
happen.
strong enough to shoulder more than your share of the burden.
Okay. Get unnecessary repairs. This is really good. We did actually need the flame restoration, which is the biggest reason why I wanted to do that. Just don't go to the chirurgeon's
The
table.
tangled trails.
Looks like I have to take
torment.
4th Loathing, but 4th Loathing is a little better than losing the run.
The loathing consumes.
Minus 25% resolute chance until next inn. Think they understand how I'm getting through here. I noticed that it says Confession Boss plus 10% max health. The loathing circumstance for other bosses have called out the boss name even before I had encountered the boss, which makes me think that the Cowardice
unkempt
Confession
study
boss
evokes a
might
feeling
be
of
a
the familiar,
random
does it
selection of
not?
bosses, and that sounds terrifying. The Rotten Tomato, Hellion specific. Okay, so if we take the Hellion back to rank 2, they get a giant flippin' damage bonus. Breakthrough skills, mark and add a negative token. Huh. So, breakthrough on the Hellion is this guy. Can't use it from the front row. It ignores
Your
protect and
collection can
removes
wait.
protect
Press
and moves them
onward.
forward. So adding a combo 30% damage boost. I don't know. I don't know how to make use of that. I don't know how to feel good about that. It seems very strange. If I was in a build that naturally was keeping the Hellion in second rank, that makes a lot of sense to me. But as is, I'm getting a 25% strength boost for being in first rank. So I'm just giving up on that 25% boost to get a 30% boost? That's not worth a trinket slot. If there was a trinket I could pick up that just said do 5% more damage, I wouldn't bother using a slot for that. It's not good enough. Okay. I think this is classic protocol, out the altar, because the altar will prevent me from killing the cardinal. I need to kill everything before the cardinal because it's inevitable that they will just throw worship on the cardinal and prevent me from killing him. Biggest problem I'm gonna run into is like cowardice effects might screw me, but I can actually burn these dudes, so I might be in a better state than I've been for the last couple fights. Iron Swan, Firefly finishes that off. Check you for stun. Landed a stun, pretty good. Okay, but I'm not sticking on that target. Let's see. I think with Fisherman's Net for the speed debuff here. We start hacking. I gotta get through that block plus stack, but oh well.
Measure out your violence and apply
Did that
it
always cause
judiciously.
blight? Where is this blight coming from? That skill doesn't cause blight. Something else I've put on the character is causing him to take random debuffs or random dots. I need to figure out what that is. I have a weird stained trinket on him or something? Neither of these characters can blind me. I'm safe to start using take aim.
The mind's grasp grows tenuous.
That was pretty big. We don't want to use Cauterize on this. We want to smoke screen this guy. I can use the medicinal herbs to clear all of this pretty early next turn. Worship, oh, he didn't get blinded. That sucks. Herbs.
Extinguished at last.
I might be able to check you on stun again. Time Walk is a good spell. I can't blind check him again. And I would like to progress against this other guy. Getting kind of bullied around. Action economy, yo. Please dodge those. Okay, let's see. I should probably just take aim back into more pistol shots.
Hold fast,
Ow.
for who knows what lurks in the beyond.
We just gained so much stress. Nobody's bleeding and nobody's gonna be, so we just need to walk back up to the front. Got a good cauterize here. All of my tokens are gone. Did you steal them?
Let us take a closer look at the thing. As
No,
repulsive
Yawning-
as it is.
Yawning Void does not have half the shit printed on it that happened. It's because it was criticals on 3 characters, that's why it caused so much stress. Yeah, you really don't want to let something do a multi-target critical. Okay, here we can point blank.
To Stupendous.
We gained a random critical token. Yeah! Let's go!
Straightforward.
Okay, he's still got a
And
worship
effective.
token. Might melt down here. Yep. We lost a little bit of our insane resolute chance.
An interminable conflict. Bravo!
Enjoy that. Smoke screen. Pile of debuffs. Awesome. This healing tick is insane. Highwayman is carrying for his life. Okay, we get a fourth back.
Amidst the spoils, an artifact of unparalleled
Hard
power.
greater heat shield. Okay, I need to check the Highwayman's setup again because I don't know why he's taking those blights. I'm not seeing it. It doesn't make sense. Is that a critical road heal? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Well, we made the inn. Okay. There are a couple ways of rounding out this party. I could try to do more damage with the.
There are yet places such as this.
I could try to do more
where little
damage
light
with the
still
runaway.
gathers.
Rummager, sprained wrist, tuckered out. Okay. I could try to do more damage with the runaway and bring in like a Seraph Vestal or something. More mastery. Cool. Roaring Hearth. Oh, we get -3 stress here and a big positive relationship chance. This is actually a good inn for once.
Planning and mindfulness, as vital to
catalog
survival
is
as
awesome.
sharpened steel.
This party is reasonably good at beating the Harvest Child in the theater.
Precious relics remind us of a
What are our
time
route
before
options?
the end.
So we can go to the theater. The knitted blanket. It's very strong. We just need to visit an oasis while we're there.
The tainted crop continues to spread its tendrils of
Pretty
rot
good. We have a
and
good amount of money.
pestilence.
I need to remember to buy friggin' food this time. Don't believe I forgot to buy food. Get rolled. No good reason. I want to hold on to my baubles and try and find a hoarder. This is my last region to try and find a hoarder for an indelible trinket. My trinket sets look like. That's good. That's good with him. Lost in Time sets up builds in a crazy way. More burn for shorter duration. Fire resist piercing. Anything else right there? Alright, so who are our strong options? We don't have any floating indelible trinkets to equip to anybody. We can't bring in the Jester, because he's already dead. Got our Hellion is locked to rank 1. We could do another character at rank 2 or 3. Or we could do a rank 4 character and try and adjust one of our current characters. So our best options are probably like the Plague Doctor, the Vestal, the Occultist, and the Grave Robber. I mean, that's basically the full sum of it. I don't really want to bring in the Man-at-Arms. Let's see. Plague Doctor's pretty good. You cannot adjust the path of somebody you're bringing in. You have to pay to adjust the path. Which is something I wish they would change. When you recruit a character, I think that should happen. Oh, you can rename characters here. Did not realize that. I don't really want to bring in the Leper. Anemic is a little bit challenging. If I could bring in the Vestal as a Seraph, I would be on board for it. That's right, I had a Precision Striker Flagellant that I didn't bring in. Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. You know, this guy would be really strong with that health recovery thing, wouldn't he? He could just use Punish willy-nilly all the livelong day. I could actually throw down taunts more, get self-healing, absorb a bunch of damage. Is that good enough? I don't actually think that's good enough. Crazy. I don't really like bringing in the Grave Robber without a path. The Grave Robber gets a lot of power out of her paths. Bringing in the Occultist without a path can work fine. He can help manage tokens a lot. So I'm fairly good at combos, applying stuns, landing crits. Sharpshooter's getting so much work done. So if I need a second rank character, plays off and stuff. Actually, should I bring in the Sergeant and have him sit on the second rank? Not the worst plan. But I feel like I could get more damage in doing something else. I don't really have an option for bleed synergies unless I bring in a Plague Doctor and just spam Incision. Can I do better than that? Oh, I could have access to Magnesium Rain and do like Magnesium Rain Firestarter stuff? Huh. That sounds pretty interesting. Magnesium Rain Firestarter Incision stuff from sitting at the third row. Third rank. It's not bad. Clutch Hitter's pretty good. And I often like bringing this character in for damage, and I could use more means of dealing with some dots and things. Furthermore, I think that's just like the build that I understand from the options I have. Even if he has no movement resist. Yeah, that's probably the pick for me. It's just what I know how to do. Might as well put that somewhere. Let's see. With 42 relics, I think it's probably not worth it to change
Learn what
his
can be taught.
specialization.
May stand
Because it's
just a
almost
little
all of
forward
my
at the
freaking
end.
money to do that, and you don't get a break on it for him being a new recruit. It's just the way it works. Let's see. So upgrading Firestarter's a loose idea, but I don't think Bonnie is moving further up in my ranks here. I think we take Blinding Gas. That's got a lot of strong synergies going with it. Incisions of Thought, Battlefield Medicine, and Ounce of Prevention both pretty strong. Magnesium Rain's pretty strong. Let's see. I think I'm past due to take the Wicked Hack upgrade. I'm not playing around the point-blank shot upgrades, so we're not going to take it. Grape Shot Blast is +2 damage and higher critical chance. It's pretty good. So I can think about that. Let's see. I'm probably going to be hitting Firefly more often. Grab the upgrade there. I don't have a lot of faith in Ounce of Prevention. Let's see. So, Plague Doctor's definitely hanging out in the back 2 rows. What are our best critical options? Magnesium Rain doesn't hit check, and the clearest... well, Magnesium Rain does a hit check, but it doesn't do damage. It's hard for me to tell whether or not Firestarter applies to it, but I'm pretty sure it does. Okay. Gonna be a little experimental. Let's see. There's a few options I like here. Adrenaline Rush is good even without the upgrade. I really wish the upgrade on Toe-to-Toe gave it forward 2. It's really all it needs. Okay, so it's between Grape Shot Blast or maybe something like Plague Grenade. I think I want the Plague Grenade upgrade. I have to get this character ready to go. For their skills, I'm gonna drop Incision, drop these guys, take these 2, and I've got one more flex. Let's see. Probably hold on to Incision. Makes them a bit more balanced if they get rank shuffled. Okay. At the Provisioner. I can get some Dirge's songbooks. I want to grab 1 or 2 of those. I think it's going to be 2. I don't believe I have negative tokens that I'm too concerned about. Or negative traits. My traits are ultimately playable. So we've got 1 of these to counterbalance my roast pig. I've got food. I think I'm going to hold on to the rest of my money. There are still definitely some strong options here that I'm passing on. Get everybody fed. Give somebody the smelling salts, we'll hold on to the intoxicant. Sun resists here, makes him 80% resistant. Seems pretty good, I think. Let's see. I don't have much to say or think about most of these other tokens, although this incidentally makes this character nearly blight immune. So we'll do that. Especially going into the Foetor being nearly blight immune seems pretty good. Okay, we're on the move. Alright, relationships. These should all be good ones, because these are all my living characters.
Aspiration unites the hopeful.
Okay,
While
hopeful,
the heart
hopeful,
still
amorous.
beats, desire will never die.
Well, I'm generally not using Duelist Advance, so that's a bit of a bummer. The other setups are pretty good. I really want to try out a full-blown frontline Rogue Dismas soon.
The rancid
After getting
crop
Double
grows
Cross, I really want to try that out.
and abhorrent.
Okay, we've got a big, complex area. Third region is always really long, really crazy. We want to go to an oasis, but I didn't see one. Got a Chirurgeon's Table, a watch... Okay, so there is an oasis on the right-hand side. 2 of them on the right-hand side, but I really want to get to the Lair. And I think the Lair is more important to me than getting this knitted blanket. Let's see. So the knitted blanket is another +2 fire dealt. So with those in combination, we could be at +5 fire dealt, which is a lot of fire. Be dealing 10 fire on Firefly. That's pretty wild. I could also theoretically put one of these things on the Plague Doctor or some other character, because the bonus fire dealt works with Firefly. If you put Firefly on that character, it's going to check their fire dealt bonuses and their fire resist pierce. So it's pretty big. But I don't think I can get this. Bonus creature dens, oases, and field hospitals. Okay. We do have a bonus on how many oases there are. There might be another one I haven't seen, so going to the Watchtower could help. I'm going to hit the Watchtower and then the Lair, and we'll figure things out from there. We will hit that assistance encounter, so I'm going to go to the left to start with. Get some rogue candles, too. I need to see, maybe on the Discord, if they're planning on giving us a path selection on recruiting somebody new. Well, that's nice. Get to start with dazed enemies. They are sturdy. Okay, how do I get these tokens? Oh, it automatically put Duelist Advance on instead of giving me back to my other skill. I'm gonna use Grape Shot just to clear tokens off. We also got critical hits. Cool. So we're getting critical hits on things because of the trophy. Magnesium Rain will check a dodge token off of everybody. Let's see. Firefly something as well. Firefly on this, isn't it like people?
A brilliant conclusion.
Yeah, you're dead. Jeez, it's pretty good. You can be dead too. Yeah, we have a burn party now. Go figure. That kind of came together.
A steady subtraction, an invariable result.
Okay, let's see. Only really hit check one target. Cool. Get a stun there. Okay, we got through that. Are you a germaphobe? Okay, noted. That was a little redundant, but oh well. Take the bigger useful damage.
One less obstacle in our path.
Okay, it's set to die on its next initiative. Two to 3 damage, can't possibly kill. But it removes my blind stack. Just want to kill on our first action of this turn if possible. Okay, second action is close. So now's a good time for me to try out Firestarter to Magnesium Rain.
Cooperation is the key.
I think that stacks because I saw multiple ticks over some people. Oh, you're unique. Gander. It is a creature cadaver. Okay, neat. Anyway, I got this cool grape shot blast. Lots of burns.
Hold fast.
Ow.
For who knows what lurks in the beyond.
Jaws of the Battalion. I like that there's a lot of these cool, unique encounters. You can run into random named enemies in various places. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try smoke screening him. Get him out of some of his crazy actions that he no doubt has. He's buffed these guys. Yeah, we've got them applying bleeds. Let's see. He's still under this, so I want a Plague Grenade for sure. We can Plague Grenade for Blight and Burn. Seems good. Okay. You've got 40 stun resist, you've got 20 stun resist, 7 damage incoming, so you're not quite dead. This is probably the best use of the action. The stacks aren't too much. Check you for a stun, thank you. You're already dead. This is your last action. This is your last action, so I can focus the remaining effort on the big guy. And on healing my own party. You first.
Agony by accumulation.
I don't have an angle on this guy, do I? That's a bummer. I'm not hurt enough to use second wind, so it's all kind of the same. Throw out a cauterize.
This wound, at least, has been tended to.
Good stuff. All right. Taking shots. These guaranteed criticals turning into even more burning. Let's see. Let's go for Magnesium Rain here. Last action for him is a whiff.
A deliberate and methodical appliance of
Cauterize yourself. Yeah, I like some of the things that the Runaway does, but it's confusing for me to understand what to do with the Runaway because of how anti-synergistic some of the builds are. So I don't know what to do with the Orphan. The Survivor has very straightforward bonuses, but makes the character worse in a lot of ways.
In this weighty gloom, A spark.
Rabid Blood Extract. Remove 1 negative quirk party. That's incredible. Never seen that before. Maybe this party is just cursed enough to hobble their way to the finish line. Not sure if we can cross it. We haven't encountered this boss yet, so we don't know what to expect at all. But I really just want to see the boss so that I can make a plan about it. This is the kind of thing where, you know, I encounter a boss, I learn his mechanics, and I will wake up like a shot in the middle of the night being like, I need to use that skill against him. Okay, 80, I can get food. Get double food at the cost of 5 light. It's a long path. Do I have another assistance encounter up and coming? I have no idea. Got it. Alright. In items. I need a lot more in items. That's 12 relics. This is probably I've said before that this is probably a good deal. 12 relics for 2 shots at good in items. I'm not willing to risk my flame right now, so I'm just gonna go for this.
Abandoned or forgotten. It is ours
Calming
now.
Insist is good. Okay, that's a hit. That's more efficient than the usual expenditures would be. Okay, so I would kind of like to go to the cache. Can I? Yeah, we can hit the cache. So I'm gonna hit the cache, the watchtower, then the lair. It's getting a little late. Good combat items. Poetry's helpful. Brilliant brew.
Your coach is laden. You can carry no more.
I could make use of the brilliant brew. There's almost no burn effects through here. Probably good. 30% loathing resistance. I don't like steel plating on the best of days. Chalk dust is pretty useless too. Just ditch those. As for combat gear, adrenaline tonics and healing salves are both really great. Moving along. Watchtower, please. So the watchtower will let me know if there's any way I can hit an oasis in the later parts of this and check some of these other areas. I mean, even then, I think my route is still kind of locked in so long as I'm committed to visiting the Lair, and I kind of am. I think the Lair is my best chance at really strong trinkets. No, okay, it's a hospital. We have a late assistance encounter, which can be helpful, maybe to mitigating loathing. So here's the thing. Oasis gets me the knitted blanket. So if I go after the Lair, I'm kind of betting that the Lair gives me something better than the knitted blanket. And here's another question, because apparently we've got a hoarder here down the middle. And I can go to the hoarder and an oasis, and that might be a better shot at stuff. So if I do this, I can hit a creature den too. Yeah, you know, I think the Hoarder Creature Den Oasis combo is probably more rewarding than the Lair. Let's go visit the Hoarder. Okay, this is maybe the first time that visiting the Watchtower has changed my plan.
The coach's plating is spent. We are exposed.
The vulnerability is a little bit of a bummer, though. I actually think, ooh, I'm in a bad way. Oh, maybe I screwed myself. We'll see. Okay, let's look at our indelible trinket options. Disorienting Blast, 2 Blight. It's good on some builds, not great on ours. That one requires a very specific Plague Doctor build. It's very good on that build. Ounce of Prevention giving block is incredible because that is a skill that gives block to the entire team. The Greater Heart Seeker is reasonably strong. The Greater Gilded Mind is reasonably strong. Let's see. We're getting something burn related for the Runaway. An option here. So the question here is, can we lean into Blight more? We've got a generic version of the Plague Doctor. We can lean into whatever we want. So, a noxious item. We don't currently have a noxious item, right? I do. I do have a noxious item with +2 duration dealt. So I can do +2 amount dealt as well. This bonus on Disorienting Blast doesn't matter to me. So this benefit is kind of slight. Whereas this, I could swap out Battlefield Medicine and get Emboldening Vapors and get this extra bonus on Ounce of Prevention that is pretty good. Or I could just pick up this and have this extra chance of applying Blight on hit. I think that might be a little overrated. Let's see. Poison Ring's not bad. It's just a bit lower yield in the early experiment. So, I think Disorienting Blast is just not a very good skill. Let's see where there it is, Disorienting Blast. So, with an upgrade on it, it's actually pretty good for this party. Because it can stun. And if we have a skill that can stun, sometimes apply Blight with extra duration, that's pretty good. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so we're gonna discard the Dark Impulse for the early experiment, and probably, yeah, we drop Incision for Disorienting Blast. And let's see if that helps, how much that matters. Okay. Anything else we want here? Few different reasonable options here. The Incendiary Cocktail is just pretty strong. We're going to take that, because I have a lot of faith that I will find a place to use that. Doesn't need to be immediate, but we will definitely find a time and place to put that to work. Okay, so we're going to this creature den.
Voracious and decadent, the landowners and peasants alike descended into an orgy of consumption.
That's an unfortunate string of words there. You didn't need to phrase it that way. You could have just
Sharpen your
not
blades,
done that.
that we may properly excise our portion.
You know, we're definitely fighting this. So, we've got a bit of a problem in that we're out of armor. And if I go on the right-hand side to hit this oasis, I have to deal with the consequences of being out of armor. So that's not great. I forgot to swap in Tracking Shot again. Oh well. Just eat some tokens off the enemy. I don't like that either. Web doesn't normally cause blight. What is blighting my character?
Steady yourself.
Getting blighted lots. Oh, I didn't swap in crap either. Oh, I didn't take the item for that anyway. Okay. Pretty sure we just Magnesium Rain here. It checks the entire enemy team. Yep. Give me your tokens. Take those dodge tokens. I think I just want this guy at the front dead. I need to reduce enemy count. 15's pretty efficient allocation of damage. Decently efficient. Should out this guy. It did not. Stop resisting my burning. I don't have that kind of. I don't have a lousy hit check on this. We're gonna kill this guy for sure with Grape Shot Blast. Firestarter's pretty good. Oh no, we're not gonna kill him for sure with Grape Shot Blast because we're blind, like always. But whatever. That's the game plan. Let's try it. Cool. He was in a good mood. And I set that guy super on fire. Boy, is he on fire.
Can make all the difference.
2 stacks of blind. I just try to swing through it. Didn't happen. Moving on. I wonder when you have 2 stacks of blind if it checks independently or not. Quite the question. Our Plague Grenade tacks on 6 stacks of blight for 5 turns. That is wild. Ouch. You got that elite damage bonus. Let's see. I don't really want to do any of those actions. We can just fight through for this. I think I like this.
A miscalculation, perhaps.
We got the blind stack off there. You're doomed. You are not doomed. Whiff. Taking a lot of crits from these nerds. This is still a good exit from this phase of the fight. Let's get out the next group. Okay, so this sticks. So they're elite for both groups of guys. Kind of wondering. We'll smoke screen the frontliners. Gonna try a Magnesium Rain here. Whiff across the board. Now, I'm pretty sure that's 4 separate hit checks, so that's losing 4 coin tosses. Pretty sure that's how that works. Let's see, do I Grape Shot here or take aim? I'm gonna take aim. This is gonna last well past the Grape Shot, so we can benefit from the dodge stack and make use of both the criticals during this fight.
Steady yourself.
This is throwing out this is quite risky because they could have just blinded him. Or something like that, but hey, dodge stacks maybe? Dodge stacks, yes. Still don't know why this nerd is getting blinded all the time. That's a dicey adrenaline tonic, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. I need to get through that block stack at some point, so might as well do it there. Really wish I had a way of mitigating this blind, but I do not. I don't want him to Death's Door, so we're gonna Healing Salve him. Cauterize here. I think it's a mediocre call on the Cauterize. 10 stacks of blight. Yeah, having both the spiders alive and throwing like the spitting on me is not great. Magnesium Rain on cooldown. Is this my best out for their dodge? I'm not liable to land the blight anyway. They're very resistant. Let's just try and get myself out of this pit. On to the next round, start hammering in on them.
Hold fast.
Why am I getting crit so much by these guys? I don't know what the crit chance is on this skill. There's no way for me to reference it. 50-50 on the Iron Swan hit? Oh no, it's this is worse than that. He's got dodge plus. But we got through the dodge plus, I guess. So moving on. That's a better Magnesium Rain. Blind over there. Get the spit on. Okay. Firefly on you. Outs him. The other guy resisted the burn. Four stacks of debuffs. Is that just the way that guy works? Does he have an ordained buff?
Is the natural
The Body of Work is the name of the boss. Does Pulverize naturally do double stacks like that? I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna take aim to drop this blind. Okay, even more blinds, sure.
A small foundation of trust.
Really bad options with the amount of like debuffs that are going out from these enemies. I am just smothered in shitty tokens.
Bravo!
Okay. He's scheduled to die from here on.
Stupendous!
And we'll accelerate that schedule. Okay, yeah, he gets a lot out of that. I'll go ahead and use the last Cauterize for the encounter. This constant bleeds and blinds got me struggling. Oh, come on. I'm thinking that I need to pay a lot more attention to debuff resist, because I feel like the enemy debuff chances have just gone absolutely bonkers through the roof. Can use that here. I'm pretty adverse to using that, but I just feel I need to be doing something to do better in this tug of war. Maybe I can turn off his spit for like 2 attacks, and that'll be enough.
Yeah, this is still new debuffs.
An opportunity
He's gonna miss.
squandered.
That's just friggin' murder. This thing has been doing that damage every single round.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Okay, that's the fight.
The work continues.
Oh, that was a mess. That was really fraught.
A breakthrough.
Oh, I'm
One
just
less
drowning in
obstacle
dots.
in our path.
That is 2 very strong creature den rewards.
An elementary problem.
So here's
Is it
the
not?
thing. I don't think I can take this and live. So we need to go to the academic study instead. And we're gonna take a barricade fight and wheels damage twice. But that gets us over the finish line
See the debris ahead? That
with
is where they'll make their move.
only 1 more loathing. We just have a number more road. We have a few
Worst
more road
kind of
fights,
Parasite. Opportunists.
and we're not super healthy. And everything's going to be
The
ordained from here on
antiquarian
out,
wants what
pretty
we
much.
have, and she will not be denied.
Okay. Take aim. Oh, this is the Antiquarian. The Antiquarian fight is annoying, but I think this team is actually pretty good for it. Because a lot of what they do is they're going to get out tokens very
Hold fast.
effectively.
For who knows what lurks in the beyond.
Apparently they're going to get me with a stun. Good dodge. So, the thing about this is... our flyer smoke screen. I can burn a couple tokens with this. I burn a protect token and his dodge token. But this will check all their dodges. Start them up on burning. One down with that. Pretty good. I think so long as I just focus fire onto the Antiquarian herself to keep checking those protect stacks, I think that works out pretty well. Oh, you're already dead, actually. Yeah, it's a blind in a daze. Alright. I think I have a little bit of leeway.
The smallest variable can make all the difference.
Wow, I didn't know she could do that much damage with that attack. I guess being ordained is a hell of a drug. Let's see. I really want to run out the hit check. Should be a pretty good smoke screen. Take aim, get the stress relief. It's a really good grape shot.
A brilliant conclusion.
The burn stacks. Yeah, that protect me gets you basically nowhere.
Straightforward and effective.
They should be on nothing but nervous stabs from there on. I think I'm gonna healing salve here. Run out the battlefield medicine while I have the time.
Stupendous.
Critical pistol shot. Burn out another death armor. I get confused. So I need to. I wonder how the damage calculation works, because that is an attack that was affected by weakness, taking the damage. Oh, I get it. It's taking the damage from 10 to 7 because the ordained damage buff
Let us take a closer look
interacts
at
a
the
little
thing.
strangely
As
with
close
the
as
weakness,
it is.
right? So they've got a 40% damage buff, and then if you take that with a minus 50% damage, their attack is doing minus 10% damage, but it's going from 10 to 7, so that doesn't work either. I'm confused.
This wound, at least, has
All right.
been tended
Well,
to.
I got a little more leeway to run out some heals. Let's take her down. All right. Our plague doctor does not have the
In
warm
this weighty
fuzzies
gloom, a spark.
and is going through it. This is very easy for me to trigger, and it's quite strong. I think it's easy for me to trigger. Let's see. Am I near the 50-50? I've got half of it. I've got the relics. So that gives the 4 movement. I think that's going to be better than the adrenalizing ash most of the time. If I can get the other side of it, it's definitely better. Oh, need to drop stuff. Okay, we'll drop the cultist stuff here. And the minor sacrificial host as well. Okay, so getting to the academic study. And then from there, I can go to the cache and the resistance encounter.
A place of research
And
and
we're out.
inquiry. A monument to a
I
once
can get a
prestigious
trinkets.
career.
Or relics and books. I think I actually like relics and books. We got a Shroud Almanac, mediocre. Sometimes you can get a really big hit on those books. I know that I can't use a Shroud Almanac between now and the end. Carriage lamps also we won't be able to use before the end.
The destination is never in question.
I'm going for the
route
cache
you
over the
take to
hospital.
get there.
It's good that the Plague Doctor decided to calm down while we're on the road. I really don't like the circumstance they're in. Okay. What do we get from this cache?
An impressive haul. Put it to good use.
Pretty good. I really like the wild tea's nice. The alembic and retort isn't likely to do anything for us. Silver spoons are pretty good. Take cheese. Discard some stuff. Okay. Ceremony of the drum's not that strong. I don't need slime mold actually. How much food am I carrying? I've got the apples and cheese. Picked up more apples and cheese. So now I actually have enough food to cover the mountain. Drop this. That's really useless this late in. The royal summons can't do anything. I know I'm not going to use the rotten tomato. Just pick it all up from there. Cool. I'm not going to use the poison ring. The only character who cares about noxious items is pretty set. I'll take this hit. I do not want to get any more loathing. Thank you. Did I get my baubles above 50? Not quite. I am tantalizingly close.
Coach limping.
Our coach
Imprudent.
is messed up. Overloaded. That's expected. Drop the fisherman's net. Actually, did I use up all of somebody's stuff? Hand over some laudanum. Put that stuff to work. Okay, I really want to make it to the mountain. Really want to see what the final boss is like. We could definitely get wrecked on a mountain encounter. That would be a bummer. If we stall out at one of these upcoming Oblivion's ramparts. I do think this party has it in them to make it to the mountain. Not a lot of crazy stuff in my way right now. Cool, we opened with a critical stack, so we'll Grape Shot Blast. I think this is my first batch of Plague Eaters in the entire theater. Kind of obnoxious. Let's see, I don't think I can out this guy. Probably not. So we'll go for the Iron Swan. That's more efficient. Okay, I don't really have a way of making you miss. I'm just gonna run out the Magnesium Rain.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
Yeah, this team in its current state is really not doing a lot to control incoming damage. We're just kind of trading the shots and moving on. I'm gonna go through a lot of laudanum in this fight. We're pretty effective against bleed, but blight is troubling us. I really hate that. Do I just cauterize that again? I mean, yeah. It's 6 turns of bleed. It's really bad. I'm gonna take aim. I was considering just going right for the Grape Shot. Why are they getting these crits? I don't know. I don't remember these maids using a support action to set that up. We had a kill chance on that, so I went for it. She'll actually burn to death. Pretty good. Yeah, because they just used Larval Slop. How did he get a critical stack? Oh, this guy is named. His difference, the difference of his look was a little subtle.
And you will discover its
Oh,
weaknesses.
they've just got round start, be nasty. Okay. I didn't realize how absolutely horrid these guys are. Disoriented? Oh, we got the daze. But I guess my party's already active here, so it's
Measure
pretty
out
6
your
of 1.
violence and apply it judiciously.
Good dodge. Good dodge, at least. Run out another Grape Shot here. Okay, frontliner's dead, right? Yeah. You here are not looking pretty. I mean, you weren't looking pretty from the start. He's close. He's got 2 health left. You can't dodge those. Really? Just not in the mood to succeed? Drop those stacks. Let's out the named guy.
The smallest variable can make all the difference.
Okay. Pretty simple looking from here. We do have a lot of light running.
A petty hindrance.
Moving right along. Dismas is such a hard worker. Okay. Overloaded. We picked up stimulants. It's really good. You hang on to those. I'm not gonna have time to use that. Yeah, it's kind of funny to pick up stagecoach items this late in the run. Okay, Oblivion's Rampart. This has almost always been the big guy, right? Yeah, it's the big guy.
Push this half-made horror back into the void.
Back into the void, we will try and get him. We don't have any way of dealing with this cowardice buff. It's just gonna be there. Seems like a solid use case for blinding gas. Frontman didn't think so. I want to finish drinking this laudanum. I actually really want to smoke screen on this guy. I really want to focus on denying his actions. Denying him from doing stuff is a little more important than progressing the encounter in general. You're already dead. Cool. Pistol shot? Show me a stun, please. Didn't happen. Alright.
Let us
You burn out.
finish this quickly.
I don't have debuffs over here. This is just wicked hacks for the rest of the encounter.
Stupendous.
Nice critical. Let's see. Disorienting has a loose weaken chance. That was all we had to bet on. Didn't happen. Okay, that's a horror.
This is no time to falter.
Prelude hits pretty hard, and we got a combo on us. That's a bit of a bummer. I think I go to take aim here. Yeah. We're gonna drop an adrenaline tonic before something really bad happens. So I don't have another action to deny him from capitalizing on Prelude. Yep. I'm gonna use this laudanum here instead of trying to deal with the horror. It's just necessary. Let's see. We're gonna smoke screen. We can use the combo here to check for stun. Possibly. Good dodge. Oh, we also have the blind up, so, you know. Don't leave these things to chance. Probably one of the few chances I'll get to Battlefield Medicine, so we'll go for it. No stun again. He's still blinded for one attack. More horror, more weakness. It's just what's happening. I don't think this fire starter action is useful, so just set him on fire better. More fire. 12 burn seems pretty good. That's exactly where I want to see Prelude going out. It's pretty good medicinal herbs action.
This wound, at least, has been tended to.
I don't think we have a good battlefield medicine here. I think it's a blinding gap. Okay, we got the combo. Into the pistol shot. He still doesn't want to be stunned. He's not in the mood. Okay. That'll armor break him, and then he'll lose one death armor. He gets one last action. It's basically always going to be the fall there. I don't think I've ever seen this guy do anything other than the
Persistence
fall
will
if that action
overcome
is available.
Even the greatest of threats.
Alright, so we've got some stress recovery to drop
Amidst the
for our
spoils,
boy.
An artifact of unparalleled
This anchoring charm
power.
is probably a big bad deal that I should really be thinking about putting on somebody. Okay.
The loathing whispers.
Problem is, our slots are really spoken for. We've just got a lot of synergy running in. Yeah, I definitely don't have 2 slots to spare to run a cultist option right now, given where my build's at. 6 items. Food is spoken for. I don't need any bread. Oh, hey, chocolates. Cool. So our plague doctor got up to 10 out of 10 stress. Just gonna make him forget all about that.
We would come here.
So we got the
in
blood
summers of
extract and
years
the peculiar
gone
secretion.
to write,
We picked
think,
up
and rest.
pacifist, lazy, tuckered out, and tippler. Tippler, tuckered out, lazy, and pacifist. Okay, so that is all that we have on people. Kind of wild. We could remove pacifist. Burn the sprained tea there. Yeah. Throw the wild tea over here. Got rid of the wrist sprain. Okay. Apples and cheese for the crew. No diseases. Removed a negative quirk. Let's see. We don't want to use a dartboard for Paracelsus right now. Clarifying poultice should go for you. I know your resistance is already quite high. Gets it to a good point. Why is this sticking? Okay. It happens a lot with tooltips hanging out on the screen when you're not mousing over them. Okay. I want to put the drum on my frontliner. Let's look at how much
Precious
power
relics
we can
remind
come
us
into.
of a time before the end.
So I'd like to keep relics and baubles over 50-50. Looks like we've got a negative quirk removal chance. Pretty good. I generally like the mop and bucket. Give the box and gloves a try. Amorous Ballads is pretty good. Can't afford too many of those, right? Not while keeping over the value. I don't know if the Clotting Poultice is valuable or not in what's coming up. We will take the milk-soaked linen. Blinds have been a plague. It's been really holding me back. I want to try and hold off on the cocktail until the last encounter. We're going to try to save that for the big boss on the mountaintop. Okay, let's see. Grab another meditative totem. I want to get rid of sprained wrist more than anything else. Nope. Let's hit another one. Didn't get it. Okay. I don't want to go any further on that. How are our relationships? So I think I probably should have been spending the money on the relationship shifts anyway. Okay. Get amorous, you two. I actually only have one party member that can use the boxing gloves. So I screwed up on that expenditure. I've never seen diseases land in the mountains, so that's not important.
One learns quickly.
All right,
when
mastery
survival
going into the
demands
end. There are a few adjustments I can make here. I could do like a Howling End toe-to-toe setup with upgraded toe-to-toe. It's a big gain in damage. Yeah, I think I like that a lot, because I'm not really using Bloodlust. A very ordinary Boudica setup. Here, I'm not going to use Duelist Advance. I'm going to switch that back out for Tracking Shot. I don't generally like Tracking Shot for this, but it's good for the anti-dodge property in some select cases. Got the option of running in Hearthlight to help against Blind, because I'm not using Run and Hide. I wish that on upgrade Cauterize got like a 4th use or something. It's a bit hard to feel good about. Let's see. I want to take the Disorienting Blast upgrade for sure. Tracking Shot upgrade is appealing. Hearthlight is only appealing if I get the upgraded version. This character's not standing 4th rank, so I could put Controlled Burn in their build. I'm planning to drop Run and Hide either way. Controlled Burn tends to work well in a lot of boss circumstances, or other cases with like gigantic stationary enemies, which I think is a lot of what I'm about to be up against. Grape Shot Blast is the alternative on Tracking Shot. In terms of upgrades, I think I'll take the Grape Shot Blast. I've been using Grape Shot Blast a lot. So, we are removing Bloodlust in favor of Howling End, where we can use the Howling End toe-to-toe setup. Sneak in a good bit more damage. Heck, we can even use Howling End and then like move back with Point Blank as well. Dropping Duelist Advance for Tracking Shot. Over here we're all good, and here we're dropping Run and Hide for Controlled Burn. Let's see. I didn't go to the Oasis, so I didn't get the blanket to replace the Laden Lantern, so we're still just using the Laden Lantern. I think that's fine.
Your coach must be maintained if it is to carry you where you must go.
I can get these to get the armor back.
The roads are rife with peril. A little protection is always
I'm not going to
welcome.
get the wheels back up to spec, and that's fine.
The inevitable end of your journey
I am
awaits
one
you. Once
bauble
again.
short of re-enabling the Chalice's critical effect. And that's where we sit. Can I afford like a whiskey or something? I can spend another 8. There's no use in Calming Incense, but a Clotting Poultice could be good. Mop and Bucket could be good. I could get a whiskey flask for like one last pulse of relationship bonus. 0% positive relationship chance at 12. Is 13 a border? I think it is. But we've got a Tippler. Wait, does Tippler block whiskey? No, it doesn't. No, Tippler just influences some curios, I think. Alright, how does that actually change the circumstance? Nope, that was a complete waste. Moving on. I know for next time. Hopeful?
Aspiration unites the hopeful.
Amorous. Respectful.
Tried
No
and
negative
tested.
relationships.
A
We
bond
got
to be
benefits on
counted
Firestarter, Blinding Gas. These are good. That's alright too. I'm not using Backdraft though. Very close to having all the character skills. It's only the Jester and the Flagellant that I don't have the full unlocks for. Actually, wait, I'm
At
still
last,
missing
the great cigarette.
the last two
Temple
skills
of failure
on
and regret.
the Vestal. I like the Seraph setup for the Vestal a pretty good bit. It has very good damage output, while providing a lot of tokens to your other characters. So this will be our first look at whatever the heck is here. This looks a lot spookier.
Here, at the nexus of ruin,
Oh, we slowed
loathing
down.
poured forth from the darkest recesses of your mind. Your failures took form, and the world bowed in honor of your great wretchedness. The stain of your bankruptcy frayed the very fabric of our dimension. But you were afraid to face what you had wrought and fled down the long road of your memories, hiding yourself away.
You had the great ambition to imprint your
Emptiness
mind upon the
and
world,
dissolution
but
have wormed their way into the world.
the twisted nature that was necessary to make you believe that you should do this won out over any kind of good ideation you had about what the world should be. That's an interesting notion. The kind of person who would do this could never be pure of intention enough to do it right.
Well done.
I'm just gonna open with that before the altar effect is out and messes up my movement. Okay, he's basically set to burn to death. Let's see. So it's interesting, because this is reading inflicts on turn start.
Analysis is the
The
natural
debuff
prelude to
reads,
action.
okay, these read on turn start, but the skill description reads on attack. So that's pretty inconsistent. I'm guessing there's a lot of skills like this that were kind of changed during early access, and the tooltips or things don't match. You know, being immobilized is kind of nice here, isn't it? Let's see, I'm pretty sure I want a smoke screen here. You want to lock down the Deacon before he does any crazy shit. That guy
Early
bleeds
results
out.
are encouraging.
Just want to shoot the Cherub. A couple of times. Probably gonna worship. Okay, he did. Cool.
The slow suffering begins.
That's annoying. We can actually do a wicked hack here, right? Damage isn't great, but whatever. Oh, it's minus 50 melee. I thought he did ranged. Does he change from turn to turn? Maybe he changes from turn to turn. I will have to pay attention to that. Let's see. Want to out your dodge. disoriented. I didn't successfully land the blind, so that happens. Those are good days. Got a very nice crit chance on this. Okay, you're dead. I think I can start doing, like, Howling In shenanigans. Okay, let's see. Should be a good blinding gas, right? Oh yeah, that was really great. Oh, come on, miss those. That thing dies. Man, the death rattle for that entity is horrifying. Got time for a cauterize. And all I need to do is take off your other death armor, and you burn to death. Very clean encounter. Took a lot of stress on our Plague Doctor, which is not really new. That's a lot of how this whole run has been. A lot of stress on the Plague Doctor. I didn't use any combat items that encounter. I don't know how many Oblivion's Ingresses I need to get through. I'm thinking it's probably up to 3. I'm guessing it's not more than 3. So let's hope that's true. We picked up a couple early burns from our chapter benefit. Let's get rid of both these tokens. Alter effect is up. Is that the one that caused a lot of debuffs? Kinda. Let's see. Need damage on this altar. Okay. Because he's got pacifism, that forces 3 checks on his stress. So that's not great. I'm gonna try and smokescreen stall there while I try to take care of this altar. Can I kill it with Howling End? Possibly. Got it. Good option. Okay, here... Start burning this guy. He's got a lot of health. Please miss. Awesome. Okay, go for point blank.
A master stroke.
Point blank for your entire health bar. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's pacifism that's really stressing this guy. I don't really have a different game plan. He's just gonna get stressed. It's a 5% freaking chance. Okay, your death armor's already gone. We're in toe-to-toe to remove the winded. It also locks her in place against the cowardice problem. Aim here. Ow. Good dodges, for what it's worth. It's nice that you're hanging out in Iron Swan position. This is not worth a cauterize. We just move, dance around to try and avoid, like, getting too stressed out. Critical pistol shot.
Lethality writ large.
One more death armor. Let's see. And just dance around. We can take the death armor with this firefly, and he dies from dots. Okay, so I've got a definite problem on this Plague Doctor that he keeps triggering the pacifism issue. Like, super aggressively triggering that. I could try giving him... No, is the anchoring charm, not a, like, the, it's not the stress resist charm. He's basically just gonna freak out.
I remember our first meeting on the steps of the university. You were
Oh, we've got the
golden,
dramatic run-up.
lit from within by the glow of potential. Finally, my friend,
I've got a
I would see
distinct
that
risk
potential realized.
that I lose this
It
Plague
is time
Doctor
to
before I
reclaim
even
the
get a
world
shot at
from
the
your
boss.
weakness. Meet your derelictions with blazing defiance. The equation must be balanced.
Alright, what's next? Wait. If I run into the final boss, it's not going to give me a chance to re-equip things. I want the subsidiary cocktail equipped. And probably these invigorating intoxicants. That's the last gate there. Okay, so it was 2 encounters just like the last chapters. Let's see what this boss looks like. Ooh, we get like a crazy zoom in.
Gaze now upon your great achievement, the sum total of your failings, your body of work.
Oh, and at the top is theoretically us, enshrouded with the Iron Crown active. Oh, this is horrifying.
The carious gut of the coward, ripe with toxic pusillanimity.
Okay, so we're gonna start. It looks like we're gonna have a series of phases as we're fighting our way up the body. Okay, so this is completely blight immune. Well, this is not blight immune, but it is 100 blight resistance. It's resistant, so you need blight resistance piercing to affect it. Gastric juice is causing a turn end blight stack. It's got 193 health. It can be affected by debuffs, burning, and bleeding at a decent rate. So we're gonna start burning it first of all. Question we have now is how long do we wait before running out the stimulants, or do we just hit that now? I'm gonna go hard because I need to see as many phases as possible to know what I need to prep for.
A master stroke.
Okay, that had a debuff on it that I resisted. Controlled burn seems pretty great because it's always just really good on bosses. This form is vulnerable to fire. We don't know how well fire is going to hold up against future forms, so we're going to go hard. This will be a good one to use prevention against. I don't remember if I brought prevention into this fight. I'm assuming this boss is 4 wide and I can Iron Swan it freely. That's pretty good. Let's see. Alright, yeah, we don't have ounce of prevention. Is blinding gas the best option, or is magnesium rain better? Blinding gas should be a lot better. Resisted. I want to go for Firestarter here. Firefly is probably better because of this character's items. 11 burn. We got another stack of critical. Gone hard with those pistol shots. Our damage is good, but our stress is a huge concern. Don't have a mark to daze him with. Plague Grenade is useless. We'll go for Magnesium.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
14 burn for now. We still don't get to see what Trammel does. We've only seen 2 actions from him. No, we've seen 3. 2 other things. He's got a little bit of extra health from the loathing. Oh, when hitting him with melee skills, he applies a blight. That's good to know. It's not super important at this point. Nice critical. More burn.
Awash in turmoil.
Catabolize. Okay, so Catabolize cured the blight, but applied horror. It doesn't look like it applied multiple stacks of horror. What else did it do? Is it just that it affects several people with horror? Huh. Oh, it's got 2 separate entries for gastric juices targeting our characters in 2 different sets. So I guess we can move to adjust who's taking the gastric juice if we want to. Gross. It's not stun immune. We stunned it. Nice. 12 burn, controlled burn, still active. Keep hammering it. Let's see that next phase. Here's the meltdown. We've got less death resist because it's always the case for bosses like this. This is probably a good time to go for Battle of the Medicine. We're not going to get a whole lot of chances for heals. I resisted the debuff again. I still don't get to know what that does. Will remain a mystery. Wicked Hack is 8 to 13. Iron Swan is also 8 to 13, but this adds a combo. Okay, controlled burn wore off. Keep getting more criticals. All right, he's gonna burn at the start of his turn. Technically got a cauterize option, but it's not. I don't think it's important. I'm gonna add Firestarter to you. Next phase. Up to the eyes.
Its infernal gaze pierces the veil of reality.
It's got that. It is gained a bit of resistance, but not a huge amount. What I can see about it right now does not suggest a change in stratagem. Though I wager that blinding it is probably pretty effective right now. It remains a single target entity. We were allowed to finish out our turn against the new version as we moved up the body. So we've got Contempt. We know loosely what that means. Wind up a powerful, unavoidable blow. I don't like the sound of unavoidable. Could you not? Okay. Gonna glare and then do some brutal stuff. Gotcha. Got 90% stun resist. We stunned him anyway. Get wrecked, son. He didn't lose his token. He's still gonna go crazy. Okay, he's got a black mark on his health bar. If we move him past that black mark, it might interrupt the attack. He's not immune to blight anymore. We're going hard and heavy on the dots. We want controlled burn up. We can take it. Wicked Hack. Okay, yeah, he's no longer preparing that attack because we got him below that threshold. This boss needs to be pummeled. Smoke him. covetous glance. He stole my buffs because he coveted them. I like my buffs too. Okay. So, token stealing is pretty rude, my guy.
A
Get
miscalculation.
through that dodge.
perhaps.
Those criticals might be bad. Well, we've gotten through one critical token. And there's the other critical token,
Who knows
unfortunately.
what lurks in the beyond?
Looks like that cashed out the contempt. He's setting up the next one. His next threshold is way down there. I may not get a good chance to heal there. Let's see what happens. We triggered another stun. It's godlike. It's so good. Here, drink this. Don't die.
In crisis, we can rely only upon each other.
Okay, the dot ticks got him back below his next threshold. So he's not ready to go ape shit. Battlefield medicine out of death's door.
Solidarity may yet arrest this collapse.
Okay. He's still under controlled burn. We're dropping more stacks. He's got 20 stacks of burning. So he dies in 2 turns of ticking. If he covetous glances and then tries to capitalize on it, he'll die. Because that's 2 separate actions. He's got too many dots for that to happen. I'm not going to use my last battlefield medicine right now. The thought occurred to me. It's better to try and skip or blind an action of his right now than it is to add more dots. He's already got enough dots. Okay, he stole tokens, but now he burns and moves on to his next phase and drops the tokens anyway. This is probably the final phase.
Behold the hateful god upon his throne. Your failures made flesh.
Shackles of the past. Cannot use melee. Cannot use ranged. Cannot use stress heal. Cannot use healing. Empty vessel. Okay. That forces a pass. It's all melee. It's all melee and adrenaline rush. Bummer. Okay. Next is you, who cannot use healing. That's fine. You've got more to do. These guys only have 30 health apiece. Oh my god, it has 1100 health. The baseline health on this thing is 1000. I'm assuming that it's going to continually force us to use different actions. Bleeding Ember. We've got critical, but we can't use a ranged skill, and our entire setup is ranged skills except for take aim. So we have to either pass or move. We can move around. Do a little dance. Here we can cauterize.
It's
pretty strong.
Foundation of trust.
Okay, that is the nature of it. You cannot do the same thing from turn to turn. So now he can't, or it's rotating, so he can't use stress, heal. Not like I'm doing that. Grape Shot Blast.
A brilliant conclusion.
He cannot use healing skills next. So it seems like it's a random rotation. Futility caused horror. I resisted a movement component. Gotta set up controlled burn here because honestly, it's gotta die someday. There might be a secret mechanic that causes it to take more damage. Which is honestly just kind of
Slow suffering
in the realm of
begins.
if there isn't, I don't know how I'm getting through this in time. We have the option to Adrenaline Rush. It's very powerful. We probably need to take that option when it's offered, but I need to kill these guys. These debuffs aren't that bad. Gotta get this killing done. Very important death blow. These are not big stacks of problems right now. Gotta get the damage in. Pistol shot you for 22. Causes burning. That will kill him. Utility, some horror, moving you back. Okay. Got a cauterize option. I think that's pretty good. We're gonna take it. We're allowed to Wicked Hack. I think we go for it. I should probably Howling End every time I have the option. Lost access to range skills, so we do what we can. Why are you pausing like this, man? It's forcing me. It spawns somebody from their background. Yoinked you to the front? I can't, there's nothing in the front rank, so I can't point blank shot. I could tracking shot, but it doesn't matter. Oh no, actually tracking shot does matter, but I'm gonna take aim anyway. Because it could put a combo on something. That's pretty good. These are still fine as is. Definitely Plague Grenade here. Oh, you have resistance out the wazoo to whatever. In that case, we'll go for Blinding Gas. Cool. We need to spend some time moving up. Oh, that's bad. Regression. Causes some stress. Well, this is what we have the option to do. I think that's going to be the action every turn. It's just going to cause stress. Looks like that creature acts twice around. I can't use ranged skills, so we have to just take a step back. This does make the rolls that are very, like, ranged or melee specific feel a hell of a lot worse. Oh, they don't have crazy resistance anymore. I don't know why they temporarily had crazy resistance. It might be that it's difficult for other characters to attack them. Yeah, it looks like other characters can't hurt them very well. But we're definitely still going for one of these actions. Hit it. You're taking a pass. Sometimes that'll happen. So let me look at the damage preview here. Yeah, only the selected character, like only the character that it's related to, actually has a good time hurting it. Okay, now that I know that, I'm not summoning the Runaways again. The Runaways' damage is very bad. Resolute! Oh, yeah. That's really important right now. Setting up a controlled burn on this is probably the best way to guarantee it actually fucking dies someday. Alright, blinding gas should be good. So this is a marathon,
slow
not a sprint.
dissection. An unavoidable end.
Reburn there is good. Toe-to-toe to remove the exhaustion. Crit him while you got him. Yeah, we can move. It's fine. These two are interchangeable. I wonder if the real goal here is for all four of these characters to face their failure. If successfully killing one of these does 250 damage to the boss, then I'll know the answer. Oh, Exaltation. Flame plus 15, 200 damage. Yeah. So we do a clean ass load of damage to the boss every time we complete one of these face your failure challenges. Samsara. Ah, he spawned in the goons again. Well, our controlled burn is still active, so that's good. Point blank for a lot.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
Yeah, he's already dead to rights. In that case. Okay. I don't want your attack to happen. Oddly, these goons are arguably more dangerous than the boss. Because they throw a lot of debuffs out all at once. That actually costs a taunt, too. It is very good that two of my party members have basic ongoing heals as well as the amorous heal. As without some of these mechanics, I would be kind of without continual healing in a very, very long fight. I still have this cauterize. It's pretty good. That's a pass. Grape shot. Take it.
Bravo!
Don't drag people to the front like that. It's rude. Really putting them on the spot. A little toe-to-toe here. Help correct the positioning ever so slightly. That's fine. You can take the time to move back, because I need to get the Plague Doctor back to the back rows. Yep, so it's down to the 3 choices. What's your backstory next? Ow, more horror. Hey, he throws out a lot of horror. Grape shot. Yeah, this one should be pretty quick. I can still smoke screen this guy. I think it's going to be pretty beneficial. Okay. It's locked out of range, so nothing to do. Ow. That hurt a lot more than the other one. Oh, cool. You put him in the space to point blank.
The past is gone.
Next thing dealt with.
Really
Exaltation. Controlled burn, back up. No matter how much we throw on him, I don't think there's a chance we get through the fight without getting through all 4 of the backgrounds. On the turn when Adrenaline Rush is blocked, you nerd. Calls up the dudes again. Point blank sets up some healthy damage. There's finally my chance to Adrenaline Rush.
The enemy weakens.
Magnesium Rain is pretty good in this fight. Oh, that's new. Okay, he threw out a lot of positive tokens, is all. There's a taunt, which is a bit of a bummer, but I have set that guy up in the back with enough burn to die in 2 turns. Hopeful's very good.
Cooperation is the key.
Point blank, take a burn stack. I don't want to toe-to-toe from this position. It's a bummer, because I have to lose an Adrenaline Rush turn on that. For your consideration, it's not in the mood. Okay. Play Grenade the back then. Yep, seems good. Oh, he resisted the blight. Bummer. Okay. Good resists there. Ooh. You just shrug that stuff right off. Oh, don't like that.
For who knows what
Okay, she doesn't have any dots on her right now. Okay, you're dead. You are dead. We can take aim this round, but Grape Shot Blast gets damage on the big guy.
A breakthrough.
It's theoretically slightly better. Small optimizations. I'm not seeing cases where this is more
At
optimal.
least has been tended to.
Let's do a dance. Get yourself back out of here. Okay. Just healing slightly. Yeah. Keep up the wicked hacks. Get the Adrenaline Rush heals. It's your turn. This time I stand my ground.
Incremental, but deadly all the same.
Can we just Howling End once and kill? No, that would be great. Not while we're under weakness. I'd like you to miss some attacks. The vulnerable will help it die faster too. Can we disorient God? He's not in the mood. Now, we're definitely taking 2 hits of regression. I might be able to Howling End it to death while it has vulnerable up. Oh, never mind. Looks like we have to pass into a meltdown, because I can't move backwards and I can't use any melee skills. Whee! Oh, this is not a good time. Not a good time to do that, girly. Alright, they can take aim. Get the amorous heal. Yeah, Death's Door. Man, if one character is dead, does this just become impossible? We're gonna take an attack on a character at Death's Door who has minus 45% death resist, and there's nothing I can do about it. That was a very bad meltdown. Yeah, she's gone.
Let us hope they find peace.
Can anybody else interact with the Spectre now? Or do I just have to fight through the Spectre for the rest of the fight? Oh, he's gonna dismiss him. But I missed that opportunity to do 200 damage.
Excellent work.
That was such a bad lockout of that not being able to do melee at a very important time. They both picked up critical.
Agony by accumulation.
She was also my likeliest character to hang in there and make this work because of her continual heal.
The fiend's strength dwindles.
Next Death's Door.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
Down to the high 200s. Another meltdown. I've just long since run out of any kind of healing. I'm gonna smoke screen this frontliner. And he bled out.
Casualties are to be expected.
And she was the last one to have any kind of background. Okay, we get controlled burn back next turn. Please don't heal him. Okay, there wasn't a heal in there. He did get in 2 cheeky little actions. Okay. So how is it now? You just gonna keep doing Samsara and calling out more guys? He's just gonna keep calling out more guys. 260 more damage from this stage. Controlled burn is going to be absolutely necessary to get through this. The thing that bites the most is that I didn't get the chance to use the death concoction at the right time either. Let's see. I can't use grape shot or pistol shot from the front. I'm just going to be in a pretty bad way here. Smoke screen on this, I guess. And she's gone.
Another wound. Another loss.
We're largely in a case where point blank is our only remaining attacking skill. Because going to be forced to stand in the front. And he's going to keep calling more guys, so I think this is just a lock. In the mood to resolute again? You've done it several times this run. Okay.
An unforeseen complication.
We made it quite far into the final boss encounter.
On and on. Over and over.
And that was really for a party
Until the truth
that
is
had
laid
very
bare.
bad mitigation
And
tools
you are finally
and limited healing.
free.
So knowing now that the final boss fight is a marathon, it makes me feel even worse about some of the limited healing skills. Given the way this game works, I actually don't know why it is that Battlefield Medicine has a per encounter use limit compared to like other skills in the game. Like Weird Reconstruction has no per encounter use limit, is actually an insanely good heal. It can heal up to 50% health with no encounter use limit. But Battlefield Medicine, that only heals 25% and clears dots, can only be used a couple of times. And when you have a fight like that, oof, that's pretty rough. Horror is also very difficult to manage, and it looks like horror is kind of a fact of life going to that last encounter. I think that my next run for that is almost certainly going to be using the Wolf Cub for stress resist, because there just aren't a lot of mechanics to try and address that amount of outgoing stress. But that's very interesting. We made it very, very far in there. Controlled burn, insane skill, crazy good, very, very good boss killing skill. You can kind of just throw it out there and then worry about whatever else you want to worry about for a while. It's very nice. Okay. The final boss mechanics aren't actually that complicated. He's doing a lot of stuff, but it's pretty straightforward. It's reminiscent of what the other bosses were doing. It's just a really, really long fight. But it's the kind of thing that can be understood. I think the mechanic that was most difficult for that was the denial mechanic that he was using up at the top. Once the denial mechanic was active and I was occasionally having to skip turns, I mean, that's what proved to be the death knell for the fight. Okay, we've been at this for quite a while. I want to thank everybody who took the time to stop by. We did a lot of experimental runs before finally landing on something that appeared to work, at least well enough for us to get a look at the final boss. So, thank you for everybody who stuck around. I've been putting a lot of these up to YouTube. I released 4 YouTube videos this week with Darkest Dungeon gameplay, and I want to keep on that trend. It's going to slow down a little bit now that I'm caught up, but I'm going to make sure that I sit down to play this at least twice a week for a while, so we can keep some uploads going. Hope to have some people hanging out while we learn all the ins and outs of this game, and hopefully push for higher difficulties as we go. So, this has been Jupiter Exile. Thank you for wandering with me. Have a good night.